Hello and welcome back. Today I wanted to come back on one of my first projects just to create something simple with object-oriented programming and using the OS module. So after the last video I thought that would be interesting for me to come back on that, and maybe that would be a nice first project for someone that wanted to apply those core stuff to it. So let's get into this. So obviously we're going to import the OS module, and we're gonna go and create a new class because like I said, I wanted to come back on a object-oriented programming file. Even if this is so basic, it wouldn't have to be, but it's pretty nice if you want to link it to a GUI. I actually did it, but we won't go through that here because it's pretty long. So what we're gonna do here is just say that first let's define the init method. Here we are, and it's going to take just one information, which is link, which is going to be the folder you want to sort. Okay, so the goal here is going to be I indicate a folder, and then I'm going to sort all the files that are in it depending on the ways I want them to work. So for example, it could be putting all the PDFs files together, all the TXT and Word files together, but also like Excels and stuff like that, segregating music from videos, anything you want. And if we don't have a folder that's named videos or documents or I don't know what, then you're gonna have to create that folder and put the files in it. Okay, so this is what this sorter class is gonna want to do. So change the indentation here, so let's make this safer. So what we're gonna have here is that we're gonna test the entry for validity. We're gonna download the file by default. So what I mean here is that we're going to go to the download file by default because this is what I wanted it for to begin with, just to clean out all those things I've been downloading all the time that make no sense. You've got so many .execute files, so many Excel, so many images I just use once for some silly stuff. And of course maybe check with a message box before starting, because you don't want to start that anywhere, and link is going to be folders address. Okay, so this is what the init method is going to be. Obviously, to begin with, let's make this a self.link equal link, because this is going to be a value that is going to go through the whole program, and I know I want to have it here. And then we're going to just pass for now. So this is the init method. Then we're gonna define this with like just how to treat the link that we're gonna get into the app. Then we're going to have a what I call main loop function, which doesn't take, so I'm in the wrong editor, which is going to take no arguments. And what we're gonna do is just say that it's the base loop, and it's a base loop for going through your files in the directory. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is iterate through every file in the folder to do our thing. Okay, then what else do we want to do? Well, we want to sort them, right? Because here you're going through all of the files in your folder, and then you're going to decide where they go. And so we're going to create a sort function, and this one is going to take arguments. So let's say file and source. We're going to come back there soon. And what is this going to do? It's going to extract the extension of the file and then put it in the correct folder, create folder if doesn't exist, and what else? Will create other folder if can't find extension, because obviously that you've got so many extensions, like what the hell file you're working on. So I'm doing this because I really enjoy doing that now, just setting up things, knowing what you're going through and noting that what everything is going to be, and going into bigger projects. And for example, the website project I'm having right now, but even like more bigger GUI projects I could be doing, this is very helpful for you to organize the way you're working on, especially when you're creating a package. And so source is going to be the full file address. Okay, if it makes sense, like it's the whole address of your file with the origin in your computer and the name and the extension together. Okay, just basic as that. We could find it with the original link that you would join with the file, but I just liked it better this way. Okay, let's just pass this for now, and then we're gonna have one last function that is gonna be the new folder function. And just like we said, we're going to be creating a folder that is going to welcome all of our files. Okay, so here we go. We're going to create the folder that will welcome our files. Name is the name of the folder. So what that means, is that we're going to create a dictionary with those folders' names, so it's customizable depending on what you want to do. Okay, and here again we're going to pass. Okay, so this is the structure. We're going to go with an init method, a main loop that can go, is going to iterate through the files of the folder, a sorting the function, and then a folder creating function. And to try out all those things and to start it, we're going to say if name equal main. We're going to say link equal input of, so enter the folder address, want to sort, let's say it like that. I don't really know what else to say. Oh, and we're gonna say what we want to do is downloads folder by default. And then we're gonna say X to quit. Here we are. Okay, and then we're gonna create an action object that is gonna be our sorter of link. Okay, so here we are, and then we're gonna create this. So what are we gonna do here? what we're gonna do here is just initiate everything. And so, first of all, we're initiating our self.link iteration. So this is gonna be the address of the folder. And then we're gonna test it out. So we're gonna say, for example, I just want to be like, if they enter nothing, so okay, I just want to exit, really. We're gonna just do that this way. But if self.link my bad, I just mixed it up. So I said down there x to quit. So x exit nothing, then it's going to be the download folder, and this is where it's getting interesting. So what we're going to do is that self.link is going to be equal to, my bad, self.link is going to be equal to, and so here we're getting to the first interesting part. It is the path module. So what we're going to do is go back up there and we're going to say from pathlib, I just cannot type, import path. So what does that do? Well, it's really nice because I really wanted that to just reach the download folder of anyone if I wanted to send that app to them, and not just mine with like my computer's like ID in the link. And so there's a way to do that, and it's with the path.home function, which is going to return the main path, the home path of your computer, whoever you are. Okay, and then what we're going to do, we're going to link that with your downloads file, yeah, which is also universal for everyone. How are we going to do that? We're going to do that with a os.path.join. So os.path.join path home, comma, downloads. Here we are. So this is our link, but since this is a path, I've seen people recommend that you do str. I'm not even sure this is that important, because what's interesting with the os.path.join is that it creates a usable and practical link. Okay, so here we are. This is our downloads files link. And then we're going to say if input, I don't want to bother too much, so let's say input start the sort 1 or 0, like yes equal 1 and no equals 0. This way we don't really bother with the test, okay? We're just going straight into it. And then what we're going to do is just use the OS module to say os.change directory to our self.link. Okay, basic OS module stuff, nothing crazy here. Change directory is what it's the most used for, I bet. So here we are, and then we're going to get the list of files that we're going to sort in here. So how do I want to call that? I'm going to call it self.dirlist. So it's the list of the files in my directory. Is going to be equal to os.listdir. So this is why I named it this way, because this way you remember that it's the listdir function. So for me it's kind of logical, but maybe you might want to name it differently. So you're going to do the listdir of our self.link, and then you get the list. Okay, I'm not going to bother printing that out because it's going to be long enough. But believe me, and maybe try it out yourself. I mean, it's always the best way to learn, I guess, is just to do things. And then we're good to go, right? Like, this is ready to work. And what we're going to do is start our main loop, and so we're going to call self, remember, dot main loop. Here we are. And we don't need to put self.link or anything in it because we're using object-oriented programming. Okay, one last thing is missing here, and it is my my list of folders and everything. I want all those things to be included here, and we're gonna have those things. So it's going to be self.folders, no folder, my bad. Okay, and then we're gonna have self.extensions, which are going to be a dictionary. So I'm just gonna print that because it's kind of tedious to do. So just want to get it from my previous work, which is going to be here. So we're going to have Excel. Let me do this so it's more readable for you here. Excel, images, apps, videos, music, text documents, and presentations. As for our extensions, this is even bigger because it's going to be this. And you can see that you have text documents is going to link to all those extensions, presentations to, Excel to, etc., etc. There are multiple ways to do this. It's just how I did it back in the days, and I didn't want to change the whole code to adapt to a new version. So this is how we did it. This is also how you can add or change or reorganize the way you want it to work. So those are the files, the folders that are here, okay, are going to be used. I used two different objects because variables, sorry, because I felt like it would be more practical. Obviously, you could just use the keys of your dictionary or your folders thing, but just for the reading, it's kind of like more logical to me to read self.folder everywhere instead of just having the one object. For a small project like that, I bet it's gonna be okay. Okay, so now we just have one last thing to do with this, and it's just like doing this exact same job, but for the case where people put their custom link. Okay, so what we're gonna do is just put an else statement here, because obviously if it's empty or x or not x, like it's gonna be them trying to sort something out. And then I'm gonna try to do an os.change directory of self.link, and if it doesn't work, then we're gonna tell them, well, hey, it's not working. So we're gonna put an accept. And I think from what I've seen that the OS error is gonna be way more practical, and we're gonna print folder not found, and then we're gonna exit. Okay, but if it's working out, what we're gonna do is simply go into a self.dirlist equals os.list directory of self.link. Okay, just redoing this, we could copy it, just be like, hey, this is how it goes. Okay, so this is our init method. So now the main loop. How is the main loop gonna work? Well, the main loop is actually pretty simple, right? What you're going to do is that for every file in your directory list, you're going to create to find the full address of the file and sort it depending on its extension. So you're just going to start the loop and then call the sort method, okay, for every file. So let's do it for a file in self.dirlist. we're gonna say that the source is equal to os.path, .join of self.link and of file. So what we're doing here is just simply joining self.link with the name of the file to get the address of the file, right? So now this source object is like our source file, is what we're searching for, is what we're dealing with right now. So I want to just loop through that and just be like, if this file exists and if there's no bug, no problem, I'm going to call my sort method. So let's say if os.path.isFile of source, my bad, I'm forgetting my, okay, we're gonna try self.sort of file and source. Okay, and then we have an except here, and this except is going to be file not found error. For any case where you would have any kind of issue with the name, with the calling of the error, usually that's what was coming back from any bug happening. So we're going to be like print issue with the sorting of file, and then we're going to call it file. So what we're going to do is just print that this file name got an issue when we tried to take care of it, and then we're going to pass so that we get to the next thing. And here we're going to pass to, because, well, if os.path is file is false, it means it's probably a folder or another entity that you don't want to sort. Okay, we're just sorting files here, not folders. So we just don't care, and we're going to go to the next object in your directory. And that's actually it for the main loop, because here everything's going to happen in your sort that is right there. So what about your sort function? So the sort function is going to be, okay, extract the extension of the file, put it in the correct folder to the file, and create the folder if it doesn't exist. So let's go with that. So let's say for the in self.folder. So remember, self.folder is our list of folders. Okay, I kept that name for it to be simple. We're gonna say if os.path.split, so it's split text with one T, I think, file 1 in self.ext of z. So what are we doing here? We're saying if the extension of the file is in the list that you get from your folder, then it means it goes in that folder. So what does that mean? Let's say you have a file called hello.txt. os.path.splitText is going to take that hello.txt and it's going to give you a tuple of hello and a tuple of .txt. So what you're doing is saying, well, by taking the value 1, so .txt, is it in the current iteration of z I'm trying to find? And this current iteration is self-folder, so meaning, so for Excel, here, is my extension in that tuple? For images, is my extension in that tuple? If yes, then the file is going to be sent to that folder. Okay, so this is what we want to do here. So if it's true, then we're going to say self.new folder, so our next function, and we're just gonna put in the z value because, well, we said so. Z is the name of the folder we want to create, okay? Then, once that folder is created, we're gonna move our file, and for that we're gonna need to import something new, and it's called shuttle. So import shuttle as sh, which is the last module we should be importing here. And why am I doing that? It's because shuttle has a very useful function, method, sorry, which is called move. Just easy as that. And what you're going to do with it is just simply, well, move your file, right? So you're going to move the file that is at the address source, which is so your link, so your whole folder's address plus the file's name, source, and you're going to move it to your new file. And to get that new file's address, you're going to have to get your link, okay, the self.link, so your original link, and you're gonna have to put it in your file. Okay, so you're gonna be source, and then you're gonna do os.path.join of self.link, z, which is the name of the folder you created, and then the file name. So basically this is just saying c / documents / file. Okay, so this is what we're doing. So this could be like what os.path.join is going to give back here is going to be like something like c let me get something easy here. Yeah, like Python, like project, and then file name dot text. Okay, so what you're doing here is this, like this is doing like your self link is like this whole thing, z is your folder name, and then file is your file text name. Okay, so this is what's happening here. Okay, so now you have another case. The case is that you went through all of the folders you selected you wanted to use, and you didn't find the extension in that. And so now you're like, well, I still want to put that file somewhere. So we're going to create an other file for others files, and we're just going to put every chunk in there, and then you can just organize around it. So let's go. We're just going to test. So if os.path.exists, and then we're just going to go with something like that. So let me copy paste that. And be like without the z, and that's just working, right? And we're going to go with self.new folder, and then we're going to create an others folder. If it already exists, we're going to check it out in the new folder and say like, oh, it already exists, we're just going to pass, okay? And then we're going to do again a ch for shuttle.move, and then we're going to just pass our new file and replace the z with the others file, and we're going to indicate where it's coming from, and it's coming from our source, okay? Just realized I've been silly, we can just write source here too, see? Just getting lost in my own stuff. Yeah, since source is the file's name, right? We're good. Perfect. Let's go. Okay. So this is what we're doing right now. And we're going to maybe say something. We're going to be like print. Oh, you know what? We're going to put the file's name here and be like couldn't be sorted and was added to the others folder. And then we're going to put an f string here and add the file's name like this. Okay, sounds pretty neat to me. I like it this way, pretty simple but efficient. And now let's go with the new folder function, which is going to be really easy. So first of all, we want to test that, well, it doesn't exist, right? The path doesn't exist. And so I first did like an if not exist kind of structure, but let's try to do something else and be like if os.path.exists this. So we did it already, right? But instead of file, it's gonna be name. Okay. Well, we're gonna pass, or we're gonna exit maybe. Stupid me. We're gonna return. Okay. Return. That's what I was searching for. And then, if not, then we're gonna do our thing. And our thing is a try os.make directory, which is going to be our self.link and name with an os.path.join. So why? Because we're going to create a directory with this name in that link. And mkdir makes us do that. And then we're going to print it because we want to know. We're going to print creating new folder curly brackets and then other f string to say folder name. Yeah, I like it like that. Could have also done like plus name, but you know, we're modern here, ladies and gentlemen. So then we're gonna have our accept, which is from experience OS error, and we're gonna do print f string folders name creation failed, and we're gonna pass. Okay, and then I guess we're there. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I had to cut and oh, I just removed my shuttle thing, so import shuttle as sh. Okay, that sounds pretty okay. So now let's go and try out our new app. Okay, so I created a folder that is filled with values. Okay, so we're gonna be here. So you have a lot of PDF, a lot of Excel files, a lot of pictures and PowerPoints, just various stuff that we're gonna try. Okay, so let's go and see how it's gonna go. So let me take the address. And we're gonna start the app. Here we are. I'm just gonna copy the address, click it, and here we are. Okay, apps, Excel, all the folders. You can see that we have the indications that they created all those folders, and we have the different files. We have the apps here, we have the images, we have the Excel files, which are numerous. The others, what did in okay, so we couldn't find the MySQL installer. Okay, interesting. Then presentations, okay, text documents, everything seems to fit. Okay, so that's it. It's working out. I also linked it to a GUI, and there are numerous stuff I wanted to add to it, like the ability to customize the folders and the extensions, the ability to maybe create a folders extension in your dictionary thanks to a list of files anywhere, for example. That could be nice, just like you scan and you use it to be like all the files in there, I want to put them in a category in my app. I don't know if I'll do it because Could be a little long and doesn't seem that complicated, but it could be pretty fun. So maybe someday. If you want to see the GUI version of this, maybe someday, but at least this code is going to be on the GitHub in description. So yeah, we're good for now. See you soon. Keep on coding.